it probably right. And so, like, warmth is on it. You guys doing? How's it going? I would be complaining because we had very warm, super cold, and I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to this weekend's performance. I'm hoping God music to get here for my iPad so that way I can actually attach it to Thank you. I appreciate it. Now the sound should be just fine. Thank you. It was attached to Bluetooth. You know, all those things that you're supposed to check before you go live. So thank you guys. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing? How is everything going on this beautiful, very sunny, but very cold Wednesday? At least here it's extremely cold. I'm pretty sure everywhere in the US is very, very cold right now, so I cannot complain, honestly. Thank you for tuning in today. Today is Wednesday's masterclass. Ebony Elephant, what's going on? I'm checking my audio, can't hear a thing. Let me just double check. Okay, can you all hear me on TT and on YT? You know, we have to abbreviate it because we can't say the actual words. So you can hear me there. Can you hear me there? Can you hear me? Let me know I can hear you. Okay, YT is good. Thank you so much. Adira, how are you today? What's going on? Welcome to today's live stream. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, Maureen, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. And today I have a very exciting topic, at least for me, because it's something that I feel like whether you're an opera singer, classical singer, or you just have a little bit of stage fright talking in front of people, this will definitely help you. So in a general sense, so Jenna says, hello, welcome in. Guys, don't pay any attention to my very busted fingernails right now. This is from the last performance and I'm doing a new performance, which means need to fix my nails by Saturday. So I am doing a casino night. Actually, it's freezing in here. Maybe we can do this for a little bit because it's a little cold. I was like, I'll be fine, but yeah, we're gonna go all professional up here. I've got my mini producer. Did you say something? Oh, got my mini producer in the background here. I know it looks like super professional, but really it's just because I'm so cold right now. So yeah, there we go. Didn't want to put a sweater on, but if I have to, I will. If we have to resort to a sweater, we will do that. Oni, can you help? Can you let Dad in? We're gonna button up before they decide to ban me like they did last time, which was not fun. I almost feel like one of those, no, we're gonna do it like this. There we go. One of those, you guys ever, I might be dating myself here, but when I was little, they had these, they called them yuppies. And then they had these books that, it was like a satire book. My mom had it where they kind of made fun of yuppies. That's what I feel like I look like right now, almost super 80s. Thank you. Did you bring the charger? Yeah, okay. So, all right, we're gonna get the music going here in a little bit. I feel so professional. I feel like such a real estate agent. All right, there we go. We're figuring it out. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's why I didn't button up the last one. Anyway, so don't worry about the nails, my dear, paying attention to something else. Well, that is good. Thank you, Michael, for being here today and for tuning in. Guys, if you can do me a favor, I am getting into the process of, thank you, Lady B. Hey, Belinda, how are you? If you can do me a favor, I'm trying to get my script down when it comes to this part. If you can tap that heart that you see up in the, well, on TT anyway, tap the heart that you see and go for all the challenges with the GIFTSs and all the other things. I'm really trying to get this lingo so they don't flag me. As you guys know, TT has been going through a lot of weirdness, has been going through a lot of changes. So I'm trying to stay up with it as much as possible and figure out what it's doing and how we can avoid some of the pitfalls that I've gone into before, like honestly. So that's why I'm also looking super dapper, you know, no cleavage here. I know how they want to get me. Also, it's a master class, so I figured it was only appropriate to wear my real pearls for this one. All right, so my eyebrows are exactly how I want them to be. Thank you so much for asking. All right, so today we're gonna talk about how to overcome stage fright, because sometimes you're gonna have people that come into your performances or even your live streams and they say really random things, and you're gonna, if you're not ready for it or if you're not very well practiced, you might go, oh, I'm gonna freeze up and all those things. So we're gonna talk about how you can completely avoid those things and what it really boils down to. There are three things that happen typically that will give you stage fright. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna sing, of course, you know. I was trying to join, but my audio is wonky, not sure why. Okay, well, hey, drop out and come back in if you have to. I'm glad that you're here either way. All right, go with these. Is it on?
Starting.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a while for
So, yeah, it is what it is. So, there's a few things that I noticed that a lot of people, like I said, even if you're not a classical singer, maybe you're just a singer, maybe you're a musician, not just a singer, but you know, maybe you're a singer, maybe you are a musician, maybe you are a speaker, or you'd like to be, and you want to figure out how to eliminate stage fright. Now, these things are going to definitely center around specifically for classical singers, because that is my arena and I know exactly how you can overcome it, but this can really apply to anyone. So stick around if it's something that you yourself have been wanting to know. How do I get over those nerves when I'm talking to people? Even if it's something like this, like doing live streams, it wasn't the easiest thing for me in the beginning, and it is a different setting, especially when you don't have that immediate person face-to-face feedback. So there have been a lot of people that have asked me, like, how do I just go live and not have stage fright and nerves when I do it? And so I realized it always boils down to three things. And especially if you're a classical singer, you're always in an arena of, you're going through auditions, you're going through juries, you got to sing in front of people all the time. And so, wow, there are a lot of opinions in here today. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Like, tone the makeup. Why don't you scroll on, Jazzy? So there are a lot of situations as a classical singer where you're going to have to sing in front of people, whether it's performances or, like, especially in the education arena, you're constantly having to be in front of people that are going to tell you, you know, whether it's, you know, really virtually anything, whether it's something in your demeanor or you're thinking that they're going to say something to you, or you're thinking about, am I really well prepared for this part that's going to give you stage fright and all those things. And so we're going to talk about it. All right. I have finally, you'd be so proud of me for those of you just tuned or who have come here before. I am so excited because I have finally organized all of my songs. They were all over the place. And I went back, you know, I wasn't going live a lot on the last, like, part of last year. So things were kind of wonky. I don't know what happened, but every time I went to do, click on a backing track, it was like me singing with it, you know, with some of my single releases, whatever it was. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I fixed everything. It's all organized. You'd be so proud if you guys saw it. It's actually, it has a little piano icon for piano backing tracks, violin icon for the orchestral one. So I'm really happy. So welcome in, Melanin Queen. How are you today? So can I break a glass? I've never personally broken a glass. The frequencies that it would take for that, I don't know. I don't know if I actually can. You know, you see it on TV. There's got to be a reason. Like, there's got to be some frequencies where you can do that. I know you guys have probably heard of, I think he's thank you for the birdies. Thank you. There's a singer who sings extremely high frequencies. I personally don't enjoy it. I mean, to each his own. But I always wondered, when you can go that high, those frequencies, like, can it really, could it break glass? I don't know. I've tried, but not like aggressively. So I would hope that I couldn't, because then can you imagine how that hurts the ears when you do it too? Anywho, it died. I'm unfortunately I might have to do a Sophie's Choice if it doesn't work itself out in a minute and choose YT to cancel so that way I can use it for my backing tracks, but we're gonna try to keep it going. We're going to try. Yeah?
Yeah, that'll charge.
It's okay. All right. Well, so let's see. A song that always makes you want to dance. Oh, that's not a comment. Belinda, thank you for modding in both of those. Ever tried Sample Singer and Exhibit's Paparazzi? I don't know Paparazzi. Celebrity Overnight. I know that one. You got a classical violinist to do that. You were singing in a place where people were drinking, glasses breaking, not to mention. Oh, exactly. I wouldn't want to break all these glasses. Everybody's sitting there trying to drink their wine, and that happens. Okay, we're waiting on the iPad to. We'll give it like 5 minutes or so, and I'm gonna sing some a cappella for you guys. And then we're gonna talk all about what is stage fright all about. Why does it happen? And there are 3 reasons why it typically happens that I found in my career. 3 reasons that I've seen for myself, and then for others, especially number 1. So we'll talk about what that's all about. But and then how you can overcome it. It is very easily overcome. I say easy, but it does take work. It's very easily overcome as long as you are willing to do the work that you have to put into it. Because really, I'm gonna give you the secret away in the very beginning. It's practice. You gotta practice, but in certain settings and in certain ways. So we'll talk about it. So let me see. What can I pull out to a complete aria that I can sing a cappella? I'm gonna sing Ave Maria because everybody loves that one. Let's see. Caro mio ben. I always taught it. I never really learned it for myself. I mean, I could do the minor version a little bit, only because Beyonce did it. I know, don't come at me. But yes, that is the only reason why I actually applied the minor version, because I liked how she did it, and I said I could do that operatically. All right, Ave Maria, Schubert. I'm curious to see how off I am in terms of the actual key. Might be just a half step, not even a half step under what it typically is. But you know, pulling it out of thin air, I'd say that's pretty good. So there you go. There's Ave Maria, and I did both verses for you there. Ooh, saw you sing the national anthem. Fantastic. Deborah, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad that you liked it. I had a lot of fun singing the national anthem for Orlando Magic this past Saturday. That was so much fun. I loved that my husband was actually able to record from where he was on the court. He was so close, because typically, like when I did UCF, in the big UCF football stadium, and then Additions, what is it called? Additions Stadium now. And then the Orlando City Soccer Stadium, it's huge, it's fun, but like you had to stand like all the way back. So on the court, everything seemed so pushed in. Even the cameraman was like right here, which was pretty cool, And that's why I'm talking about stage fright today, because in those situations, especially when you're singing a cappella, you want to be fully prepared and not feel super nervous when the camera's right in front of you or all eyes are on you, and when people are pushed in really close to you too. These are things that can cause a lot of stage fright. I don't know what that word was, stage fright. I'd give my all. No, I'm not trying it. I changed my mind. You're like, try my all. I love it, but she's her and I'm me. Weep you no more, sad fountain. Is that a classical song? So a little Sarah Brightman. Well, Sarah Brightman does all classical, so it's not connecting.
This has a problem sometimes, I noticed.
I might just have to cancel this one.
No, it's not that. I can't even connect it to my
It's that? Oh, well, I don't know what's going on with my, it never happens when I go live until
Really?
now, of course. Yeah, it's never. Huh?
I can reduce beat pill downstairs.
Can you bring that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because it's not.
Yeah, Oni's gonna get the beat
I've
pill.
had a problem with this one.
It is what it is. Showbiz, huh? And then these are the things that you have to account for that can make you super, super nervous if you're not ready. Actually, this is kind of a really good real life example of when things happen, and then you have to be prepared and not get really nervous. So imagine if you're in a show. I've been in shows before where things just weren't working. So, but we'll still do a cappella. It's fun. I have never done an a cappella full-on live stream, so we're gonna do that. Just kidding, for a little bit. Let's see. Aha! And now, let's see if I was on pitch.
2%. So.
I was just under. Okay, here's the real A flat. for the love, guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the taps. We're getting more. We're getting there. It's coming in. All right, so I was just a little bit off, but you know, that was not bad for a cappella, I will say. All right, so there is, yes, O mio papino caro from Gianni Schicchi by Puccini. And for those of you just tuning in, welcome, welcome in. Today is a masterclass, so I'm going to be singing, but I'm also going to be talking about how to overcome stage fright. It is one of the most common questions that I get. How do you get rid of your nerves? And so I'm going to talk to you about it because it is not something that you have to live with. You can overcome stage fright. And there are 3 reasons why typically stage fright happens. And one of them is really easy, in my opinion, if you stick with a very simple principle. It's one that is really easy to overcome, but so few do it. So few do it. So few do it. What am I trying to say? So few actually apply it in the way that you need to apply it. And the way that's what I'm trying to say. So few will do it enough where stage fright will be eliminated, okay? And so we're gonna talk about it, but beautifully restrained singing, completely lovely, bravo. Thank you, appreciate you. So let's see, now that the music is working, we are going to sing a little bit more. We did Ave Maria and O mio because, you know, I know that that is y'all's favorite. I know everybody loves to hear those. I like to hear them as well. Just so you see right here, all of them right here, if you ever need them. Backing track, masterless, completely organized. I'm really proud of myself because of that. I completely organized all my backing tracks today. I'm just like very excited. Everything is right there for me to pull. So you're gonna go? Thank you so much.
Only comes in the backup.
Okay. Big shout out to my producer who was trying to get that going while I was singing a cappella. Thank you. All right, so now we're gonna do, I haven't done this one in a while, so it's time to stretch the vocal cords a little bit. This is Melodia Sentimental, and Belinda says, bye, Drew. And my voice is still very cold because it's freezing in this room. So we're gonna get it going. That is Melodia Sentimental. Yes, yes, dear. No, it's fine. So you can actually bring that back.
You're dead.
He went back. All right, so there we go. There's Melodia Sentimental. If you like that, that is Hector Villalobos, and you can hear that wherever you listen to music, wherever you stream, Queen of Opera. Check it out. Thank you so much. Guys, can you do me a favor? Can you please tap that heart next to my name up there, next to Queen of Opera? And if you can complete the daily challenges, I am doing my very best to try to do this on a more consistent basis here on TT. If you can go ahead and click that and claim all of your things that it lets you claim, I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Asali. Appreciate you. Thank you for doing the daily heart me. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out and go with the flow of what TikTok has been doing, because there's a lot of changes and I'm trying to go with it as much as possible and understand what it's all about. And I think if I can be really consistent with reminding everybody that you have some daily heart me challenges that you can do, if you can tap the screen, repost this live. This is every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I sing and then I do a masterclass, which is all about stage fright today. So if you can help me by doing that, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you for all the love and all the GIFTS. Appreciate you. And as we find another song for me to sing, I found a backing track that I have not found in so long that I was super excited about, because I used to get this request to sing Queen, and I don't know like any Queen, so maybe I don't know any Queen operatically, except for the one I'll sing for you guys in a little while. So I might break it out if you guys want to hear it, but I finally found it. I was like, I was so excited when I found it. So anyway, oh, and yes, all of the love that you give, all the support that I get from both of these YT and TikTok, all of it goes toward the releases that I do, all of my studio releases, my single releases, my album releases. So thank you guys so much for your support. Everything is going toward releasing music, which the next single is going to be on February 14th, just so you know. It is called Amore. It's beautiful. I love it. And it is the third in a series of pieces that I did with a composer. So it's not very vocal heavy, but it is absolutely beautiful, and it does have my vocals in it. So check it out, Amore, Queen of Opera, wherever you stream music. All right, so let's see. Let's get into it. I am gonna do, this is what I wanted to do on Monday. I don't know if you guys caught the Monday's live stream. I went live, very impromptu, just because I really wanted to. And I wanted to do, what was it? The Lord's Prayer, because we had a passing in our family. And so I promised myself I would do it today. I didn't get to do it the other day, because as I started going live in my house, because it was on a whim, I was asked to stop singing. And so they were like, can you please move yourself elsewhere? And so that's why I moved today. I said, yes, I can. And so I was like, all right, I'll sing it when I come back live again. So I'll do it in a little bit. Anyway, let's see. So this is, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to stay. Thank you, appreciate you. And shout out to my mini producer right here, Oni, AKA Drew. He's down here helping me. Stop taking Sweet and Low. He's a Sweet and Low thief. All right, here we go. Bellini, Norma, Casta Diva. Casta Diva, Vincenzo Bellini from the Opera Norma, and that backing track is going straight in the trash. Because I have 5 versions, and I said, I'm gonna sing through them today and see which one of these are not the right one, and that is one of them. But at least we did it. It is a very slow version that I don't know when I made it, but it's, you know, sustained notes and all. Like, you gotta have a lot of breath control for that, which is fun, but it's not my favorite, so it could go just a tiny bit faster. But anyway, this is internal dialogue as I sing Casta Diva. Yes, so that is from the Opera Norma. Paris, thank you so much, appreciate you. That big voice coming out of such a little body, thank you. Very elegant and powerful voice. Appreciate you guys, thank you. So yes, the next time you hear Casta Diva, it will not go as slow, but you know, it's still fun. Still fun. Okay, now this is what I'm doing on Saturday. And then somebody asked, oh, no, I'm gonna wait on this one. Because somebody said Fifth Element. I don't know if you were asking for Fifth Element or you thought I was singing Fifth Element, but either way, I will sing it for you right now. Il dolce suono. And then we're gonna get into why you're here today. Well, unless you're here for the singing, that's cool too, of course. But why do people get stage fright? And how can you overcome your stage fright? Donizetti here. Il dolce suono mi colpite sua voce. There's Il Dolce Suono from Donizetti's Lucia di Lammermoor. I had the great privilege of hearing that live for the first time last spring, maybe? Maybe, I think it was two springs ago, and it was just beautiful from the local opera company. So it was really nice. This is one of my favorite opera songs. Thank you for singing it. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. So do I sing regular too? What's regular? Oh, like not classical? No, I don't. No, I leave it to the pros. I do the classical, and I let Mariah Carey have her thing, and Celine Dion do her thing, and Taylor Swift do her thing, and I do my thing. So somebody had asked for Sarah Brightman's song, O Mio Papino Caro, if you missed it. She did that very often, although it's not her song. She's someone who did it very, very pretty back in the day. I don't know if she does it a lot now. Okay, so we're gonna get into why a lot of you are here today. Why do people have stage fright? What creates stage fright? Now I can sit. So we're gonna sing, of course, in between some of this, but I wanna talk about the 3 reasons why it happens. So, as you all know, or for those of you who don't know, my name is DeAndrea. I go by the Queen of Opera, and I am a classically trained for 20, I keep saying like 22 plus years. I think it's 21 years. So for the past 21 years, I have been classically trained in private instruction as well as in school. In college, I studied voice. I studied vocal performance, and I got an interdisciplinary studies degree. So that way I could do all vocal performance, classical, I did my junior recital and all that stuff, and had extensive repertoire when I was in school. And I also did Spanish linguistics. I wanted to make sure that I had a very well-rounded degree. And I also did philosophy and ethics. And so in that, I had a really great perspective of what causes stage fright, not just from a classical musician's perspective, which is why I'm telling you about the other part, but from another perspective of what are we telling ourselves when we are on stage? Like, why does it happen? It seems to happen all the time, but I went searching high and low for an answer that was like maybe some mysterious thing that you could just have that secret and say, oh, okay, that people don't know. And it came down to something that I realized was actually really simple. It's a lot more basic than we want to admit. And I think it's because if you admit it, then you have to realize that maybe you're not doing the right things in your practice. Okay, so what am I talking about? I've been singing now for quite some time. And I can tell you, as much as I love to sing in front of people, I never really had stage fright personally. So I tried to understand from a lot of people's perspective, why do people get scared? Why are, when you get up on stage, you have nerves and all that stuff. And then, that was when I was in school. Then I graduated. And when I graduated, now I'm in a professional setting. And now I'm in front of people singing that it's not just for, it's not just for grading purposes. It's not to be judged, which you're very, very heavily criticized and very judged as a classically trained singer. You're getting judged the whole time you're in school. And so that enough is really enough to make you feel very nervous. But a professional setting is a whole nother set of situations. You're now dealing not just with a piano, and I'm talking about for classical singers especially. You're not just dealing with an accompanist and then you singing and looking at your sheet music, having to memorize it. Now you're doing it in a way that you have to entertain people, right? It's not all strict and by the book. So a part of that is freeing, because now you can be a little more expressive. Now you can be a little more of who you are as a singer. But then also people have to like you. So whereas a classical singer, you have to stand here, and I'm gonna give you guys an example. As a classically trained singer, you're taught to stand like this or hold the piano, right? Very rigid, and go. But when you're in a not so academic setting, that's not really gonna fly. You wanna entertain people, right? So that alone, what I'm saying is enough to make you nervous in itself. So here is what happens. It's the mindset, number one. There are 3 reasons, and the first reason, and the biggest reason, is your mindset. Now that's huge and it's general. This is what I mean. it can be your mindset because in school, they're always telling you, like I just said, you have to be super rigid. And if you're not, you're going to get marks. When you're training in school, they're going to say, you didn't, I see your shoulders moving. You seem really tense right here. People, even to this day, they come into live streams and they're saying, oh, I see this, I see this. Guarantee you, they're either a student or they're a teacher or they're both. Okay. I know some of you in here probably might even be yourself, where you're like, you can't help it as a classically trained vocalist. You can't help but to sit there and criticize, even if it's only in your head. I mean, I do it too, so don't worry. I know what it's like. But in that setting, that is enough for you to feel really nervous singing. So for a classical singer, all is being constantly, evaluated. So that alone doesn't help. When you get out of school, though, it gets better, and we'll talk about how it gets better. But another thing that happens is everyone around you might be saying, if you might even be like me. When I first started singing, I had no qualms about singing in front of people, classical. Anything else, I was like, I'm not doing it. But when I became a classically trained singer, when I started to learn classical repertoire, I was amazed how easy it was for me to sing in front of people, actually. I loved to do it. But people in school and my peers would say, oh my gosh, I have such stage fright. And it was almost like a rite of passage. Like saying I had stage fright was like a normal thing. So there was a brief time where I would be like, oh yeah, like, oh. And it's almost like they think if you say that it's exercising humility, which is really huge in the classical music industry. Like, they're like, be humble, don't go above, your station and all those things. And so when I was around a whole bunch of other people saying that at first, I was like, that's ridiculous. But then when you start to hear it all over time, I was conditioned to hear that it was sort of like a normal thing. And then I went, and you guys, if you know me, I've talked about this quite a bit of time. How is your student doing? You brought them on live before. Oh, she's doing well. For this semester, she's actually taken a little bit of time off. She's not actually going to be doing any of the performances. We're focused on releasing music this year, but she's going right back into it in her sophomore year of high school. So toward the mid to end of the year, this year, she's going to be doing a lot more like serious, intense one-on-one. But she's doing well. She did really good on her Christmas performance. I was so proud. She sounded beautiful. I love it. At some point, though, I am going to take her and bring her into these master classes so you guys can see how I teach too, because I can actually be super honest with her. I always say this because I can teach her like really strictly, and you guys can see in real time how that looks. Not hand-holding kind of teaching whatsoever. Not mean, just real rigid. But anyway, so if you guys have been here for a while, you've heard the story before. I met my husband, at the time, it's my boyfriend. We went to Hawaii because, he's from Hawaii. We were on Oahu, and I met his grandma for the first time. And his grandma was like, oh, you study voice. I love Puccini. Can you please sing for me? And at the time, I was in that whole, oh yeah, I get nervous singing in front of people. And honestly, I really didn't like always saying that, but it's like I got into the habit of saying that, where I felt like maybe I wasn't going to be good enough, especially when I first got into school, because we were being judged so much on so many little nuances that I naturally kept thinking, well, natural for me, that other people would judge me the same way my voice teachers did, the same way everyone in school did. So I backed away from, briefly, backed away from singing for people. She asked me again when we got married a few years later, and I said it again. I was like, oh, she's like, I would love to hear O mio papino caro. And I was like, oh, and I don't even know why I said it then, because I was singing a lot. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. But I shied away from it. Then she passed away. And I was like, why did you tell her no? And that was when I realized mindset was so big. It is huge. You have to stop telling yourself that you're scared to sing. If you're called to sing, if you're called to speak in front of people, if you're called to do something like that, there's a reason why. It's not just something that happens, you know, it's something that you feel pulled to do. So you have to stop telling yourself, I'm too scared to sing in front of people. And I'm telling you, that is half the battle. And I know a lot of people might not even want to hear that, but if you're honest with yourself, if you have stage fright, you might be telling yourself that all the time. And you might have other people around you saying the same thing. So that's half the battle. You want to get it out of your head. Stop telling yourself that you're too afraid to sing. Because I lost a chance to give her something at the end of her life that I think would have really, you know, meant a lot to her. And so I sang at her funeral, but I still to this day feel like I missed such an opportunity to bring, you know, to bring good energy and to share my gift with someone who really appreciated it. She wasn't worried about my intonation. She wasn't worried about my breath control or was I straining. She just wanted to hear something that reminded her of a time when she listened to Puccini with her sisters. And so, and on a record player, she told me all about it. And so I felt like I had, you know, it was such a missed opportunity. The whole reason I got into this, what I told myself after that was, the whole reason I became a singer was because number one, I love how it feels to sing. It just feels so natural, number one, but also two, is she heard you. Yeah, and I always like to think that she did hear me afterward because I sang Ave Maria Bach Gounod at her funeral, and while I sang, I said to her silently, I was like, I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner, but you know, here it is. But I got into this to share my gift, and it makes people happy. I mean, bottom line, like I want to sing for as many people as possible, and I made a promise that day that I wasn't going to let this mindset, this programming, what I kept telling myself, I wasn't going to let it stop me from sharing my gift with the world. And so I made a commitment and a promise that day. I said, I'm going to sing for as many people as humanly possible. And I'm only going to get better and better and better. And I can tell you guys, when I first started Queen of Opera, I didn't sound how I sound now. And I had graduated. I already had my degree. I had already gone through the process academically. And I still wasn't nearly as good as I am now. Because, and this is going to lead into the second reason why people get stage fright, you don't practice enough. And that was actually that's what contributed to me feeling nervous when people asked me also, not just what I told myself or what others were saying, but because if I was being honest, I wasn't always ready. So, I mean, as much as I would like to say, and they tell you in school, like, hey, you gotta always work on your craft. I didn't. I was kind of slacking at the time, and I made excuses why I didn't have time to sing or vocalize and all these things. But what I realized is you have to always be ready to sing. So the second reason why people get stage fright, and tell me if you guys are in here and you have stage fright, because we're going to talk about it, and we're going to, whatever reasons you have, we're going to dissect it, because I'm going to tell you, it all boils down to one of these three. Your passion for the art is true by how you speak it. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that it shows, because it's very true. I love what I do, and I love to teach others the same, and especially the mindset part, because I find that all of the teachers, not all of them, some of the teachers that I had, some of the voice teachers I had were phenomenal. They were so supportive. They were not very judgy. They understood that this is not an easy thing. But there have been a few, one or two, that I've had that have, and this goes into mindset, so before we continue on to the other side, there have been one or two vocal coaches that were very discouraging. And so that didn't help either, because if you're not feeling comfortable with the coach that you have, if you're not feeling comfortable with how your voice is, even, I'll tell you, I went an entire semester where a teacher told me, don't color your voice, don't color your voice, don't color your voice. Forward placement. And I didn't know, this was like my second semester, I think. I didn't know what she meant by don't color your voice, so I thought she meant no vibrato. What she was saying was don't make your voice dark. Don't darken it. Like fake. what am I trying to say? Like that. Instead of, that's my true voice, right? There are times where I guess was going, and I hear some, and it cuts off the back of your airflow too. There are some professional singers today, like to this day, I hear doing that, like darkening their voice. So that's what she was trying to tell me. But because the way she relayed the information, it didn't make me feel comfortable. So what ended up happening is I started singing very straight tone. So I thought she was saying like no vibrato, right? That's not what she was saying. It took an entire semester, and I don't know, and it shouldn't have taken this long, because if you're a voice coach, you can hear this. You can hear what's happening. I know because I teach others, so I'm like, okay, that's a very understandable, obvious thing, like, hey, what's going on? You got to stop your student and say, what's the deal? She didn't stop me for an entire semester. So then she said at the end of the semester, why aren't you using your natural vibrato? And I said, because you said don't color my voice. And she's like, I'm not talking about vibrato. So that also plays into something, and we'll talk about this in another masterclass, about why the relationship that you have with your coach is like, you're putting a lot of trust in them with your voice. I almost had an entirely different kind of practice, vocal practice, as a result of one of my voice teachers that I really didn't, we didn't mesh in the best way. And sometimes it happens, it is what it is. These things happen, but you have to feel comfortable. So if you're feeling not very confident in your voice because the teacher that you have is not helping that situation, then, that's definitely going to play into your stage fright as well. As a matter of fact, I think the people that I hear have stage fright, I thought it was going to be a lot of people that aren't classically trained, because when you're classically trained, you're just kind of like a robot. Like you just do what you're supposed to do. And that helps. And that's why number 2 is all about practice. That helps, because if you can shut that thinking brain off once you learn the repertoire and you just do the agility exercises, you do the legato exercises, that actually becomes a part of you. Like it's more in your subconscious. I'm a former opera singer. I used to have terrible stage fright. Are you a lyric soprano, Maria? Yes, I would consider myself a lyric soprano, definitely. Everyone used to say when I was in school, why aren't you, your voice would be really suited for musical theater. I'm like, if you're saying that, you don't, no. You can be a light lyric or just a lyric and still be an opera singer. Like my voice is so not suited for musical theater. So one of the things that I noticed though was I had more stage fright when I didn't practice enough. And like I said, you got to be honest with yourself. Are you actually putting in the time? A lot of reasons why I couldn't just sing on the fly. I've heard classical singers say, I can't stand when people just ask me to sing on the fly. And you know what? In hindsight, this shirt is really good on my nerves. I've had a lot of people ask me, I've heard a lot of classical singers complain that people ask them to sing on the spot, and they're like, it's not like they're paying me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What did you get into this for? Tell me you got into this first and foremost because you love it. And if you got into this because you love it, it should never offend you because people ask you to sing on the spot. Like it just shouldn't. It shouldn't make you, if I'm being quite frank, you might be one of these people. Only you will know if you're being honest with yourself. Pan, thank you so much, by the way. I appreciate that. If you're being honest with yourself, this might be you. I think the reason, what is that tapping? I think the reason why people say that is because they're afraid to sing on the spot. And even more so, because they haven't been practicing enough. I'm telling you, practice is so underrated and so it's underappreciated by all. I have heard many a singer say they won't do that on the spot when people ask, and I'm like, it's probably because you don't feel like you could actually do it justice in that moment. I'm saying this from someone who, when I don't practice enough, and I practice a lot. Now, I mean, I make it a daily habit. It's a daily thing now, but there was a point in time, especially when I was in real estate, hence I have my former real estate clothes, where I did not put nearly as much time into practicing as I did into the real estate, because that was my main shtick at the time. So, let me see. This is a master class. And guys, I'm sorry if I don't see your comments right away. Do you know Aira Garifulina? I do know her. She is an opera singer. Yes, I know her mom. I am friends with her mom, socially speaking, on social media. Yeah, I know Aida. I remember when I sang Bell Song. I did it because she did it so beautifully in this movie. And I shouted her out, and she didn't like that too much, I don't think. But her mom did, and so after that, her mom and I connected, and she and I talk often. So, yeah. But yeah, so I do know her, and she is a beautiful, beautiful singer. Love her so much, even though I'm sure I wasn't like her favorite when I first came on the scene, because I was calling myself Queen of Opera, and she's like, "Who are you?" But I think she came around eventually. That's one of the things that I think is really cool. What I was not expecting was, when I first started doing this, that now all of the current opera singers of today, I hope that they're going to stop banging at some point. I didn't know that was going to happen. All the current opera singers now living, they do know who I am. So that's pretty cool. And it was mainly, you call yourself Queen of Opera, you have the audacity to call yourself Queen of Opera, they're gonna eventually find you, because if you Google Queen of Opera, I'm everywhere. And I think Aida was originally one of those people that were like, yeah, like, who are you? But anyway, I do know her. I love her to pieces, and I love her voice. And at some point, I could definitely see doing a piece with her. So, anyway, practice is underrated and it's underappreciated. You have to practice all the time. Practice, 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 practice. So one of the main reasons why people get severe stage fright is because they have not out-practiced the stage fright. And I know it seems so simple, and people will go, "That's not true. That's not true. It's not the stage. It's not the stage fright, or it's not the practice." I genuinely have a fear of singing, and I get it. I get it. I mean, like I said, I've told myself that before as well, when I wasn't putting enough work in. And if you put enough work in, what happens is, and this is what I used to tell my voice students. By the way, guys, the song you hear, this is an original aria from the opera Ferruccio. I hope you like it. Try to practice 6 times a week. That is beautiful, Angelique. You should practice 7 times a week. Even if you're just putting on like it. And I say this, but I don't want you to practice just 20 minutes a day. You should be doing at least an hour. I did it for hours when I was in school, and then I dropped off, which is why I was afraid to sing in front of people afterward. But what was I saying? Ferruccio. This song is called La Mia Preghiera, and then I will continue with the practice. How do you practice alone? Oh, darling, we need to talk. Nel profondo, nel notte, una luce si accende. Guido le anime verso il sole. stelle che brillano nella verità, dove le ombre cercano il cuore senza promessa, non c'è speranza. Pater perdona, amor mio, Spirito Santo, ti troveremo una luce divina. That is called La Mia Preghiera, and that is my aria. So if you like it, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Guys, before I continue, if you can please do me a favor and click the Daily Heart Me up at the top, and that will push out this live. That will let me know you're here, of course, and it will show you, the more you engage with this, the more, it will, thank you so much, Matilda. It will keep showing people my live stream, and I'm here every Wednesday. I don't go live every day because there's no way. Somebody was like, aren't you afraid of damaging your vocal cords? Like, there's no way I can do big arias every day. And we'll talk about that in a second. But I am here on Wednesdays singing and doing master classes. And then when I have a performance coming up and I just need to practice a little bit, I go live as well, so I can show you guys the process. So please click that. And then also it will give you, like, if you're a live streamer, it's really awesome because it's also going to give you like your achievement points and whatnot, which help you earn as well. So it's a process we can help each other with. Every time I go into a live, I try to make sure I always do that for people. So it would be so appreciated if you did that for me as well. I never know what to say because your voice just sends me into silence. Oh, Matilda, thank you. Well, I appreciate, you just being here and tapping the screen and liking it is so appreciated. Thank you very much on both. I'm going to figure out on YT how to do the super chats too, so that way we can do like, I don't know, however it works. I still got to figure this one out. I just got the hang of TikTok, so yeah. So, okay, but as far as practice, like I was saying, and that piece that you just heard, that is going to be out this year, so stay tuned and follow me wherever you listen to music. Queen of Opera, you'll find me everywhere. But yeah, this is the piece that I did. I'm not going to sing it right at this second, but this is the one that I sang at my grandmother-in-law's funeral because I didn't get to sing O Mio, and it felt a little more appropriate than singing O Mio Papino Caro when she passed. But anyway, so practice is huge. So somebody asked, and I'm gonna go back here, are you afraid of damaging your vocal cords? Are you saying you think that singing every day will damage your vocal cords? Singing is like, especially if you're doing it properly, and this is why you need to have a vocal coach. So you're not just doing it on your own wildly for the next few years. No, don't do that. You could definitely damage your vocal cords. You need to be with a vocal coach. And I would say ideally, I know life gets in the way even for myself, like I might not be able to have a coach every single week, but ideally if you're meeting with your vocal coach once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month, that's good, especially when you've already gone through schooling and all of that. You should always have somebody who's training you. But in some way, even if it's not like every single week, have somebody consistent. But as far as damaging the vocal cords, no, it's like working out. When you work out, you're not worried about tearing down your body because you're working out every day. You're alternating. You do leg day, and then you're doing arms, abs, whatever it is, and you're making sure that you're doing it in a way that's sustainable. I've been doing this now for over 20 years, so I'm telling you, I can definitely feel when I have vocal strain happening and I need to cool it for sure. But no, I mean, sorry guys, I keep hitting this thing. I'm trying to like go back to the comments. Absolutely not. No, you have to sing. Oh, and also I will say, yes, exactly. It's like tuning your instrument and always staying practice. I also don't sing like Puccini every day. I sing a lot of like art songs as well. Ora pro nobis, nobis peccatoribus, et so, like that, for instance, is not a huge aria. It's not Verdi. Like I can't do Verdi every day. It's not Mozart. So you have to be careful with yourself, and you have to make sure that you're not singing huge things that requires a lot of, you don't want to strain your voice for sure, but you can practice every day, no problem. So like Belinda said earlier, I sing every day when I walk. It's freezing right now, so I'm not doing that. I typically will walk and sing outside, and so I'll go through a lot of art songs. I'll do all the songs, a lot of Baroque. Baroque pieces are really good for me to train on because I can just kind of cut that thinking part, and I'm just so like that helps with the breath capacity, for instance. So a lot of days I'm just doing that. I'm walking and I'm singing. I'll like put on my vocal warm-ups. Oh, and somebody asked me, are you doing it on your own, or how do you practice on your own, I think was your question. I don't know if you mean because you don't have a pianist, but it's 2026. You can put on a vocal, like, and obviously there are ones specific for your voice type, so you want to pay attention to it, but just go on YouTube, get to know the vocal exercises that are on there, or create one yourself, or have your accompanist, if you work with one, do one where you're recording them going through the scales or whatever it is. Like for me, I listen to, Freya Casey. Yes, Freya Casey. I listen to her, and I listen to my guy, why am I always blanking on his name? He always says, hello, sopranos. I can't remember, but he's great. And so if you DM me, I can tell you who it is, and I can look him up and send you one of his vocal exercises. But yeah, I just put that on and I walk and I sing, and it's just, you cut that part off of your brain where you're thinking, you're just going through it. Wee, 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 wee. So I practice staccato with him, and then he goes into the Now that is, what I'm saying is that's supplemental, okay? So you still want to be practicing where you're doing it very focused, of course, like when you're sitting and you're reading through your repertoire, for instance, and all of that for sure. But I'm talking about just as a daily exercise, kind of like I get 15,000 steps in per day. It's like that. I use the vocal exercises as a supplemental, as a part of it. So if you're doing that all the time, and one of the ways, I'm glad we're talking about this, one of the ways that I completely overcame stage fright as well, the remnants that were still there were eliminated because, actually two things. I'll tell you the first thing, because, everybody can do this. Where is it? There it is. I got a job as an opera singer at Macaroni Girl when this was in between, I had moved to Hawaii. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back and get complete my voice performance degree. I didn't. I had felt very deflated at the time about music. And it was like I was telling you, there are some coaches that are beautiful and they're amazing. And then there are some coaches that just really, I felt discouraged from even continuing with voice. And so it was during that in-between time where I wanted to do it, but I just didn't like the degree. Like I didn't like the politics of the education system. It really bothered me, and it was enough where I thought, do I even want to get my degree in this? But I really wanted to have that instruction, you know, and you need to have your degree. You need to have your education, I should say, more importantly. You need to go through the curriculum, vocal pedagogy, intonation, the languages, the practice, you know, the actual applying classical singing and understanding what are you singing, how do you find out, what is IPA all about, the phonetics. There's so much you need to know, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do it anymore. And I thought, I just want to sing. Like at that point, that's how I felt, but I had kind of lost my spark. So I got a job at Macaroni Grill in Hawaii. They needed an opera singer, and I was like, well, that seems like a pretty cool gig. And at the time, this was also, like I said, I was feeling a little deflated and I had a little bit of stage fright. If you have stage fright, get a job as a singer or create those jobs, okay? And I'll talk to you about that in just a second. I sang every night, and of course, I did mainly art songs. This is what we're talking about, no vocal strain, right? They didn't know it was art songs. Most people didn't give a damn what it was. You know, I was singing Intorno al idol mio, I was singing like all kinds of stuff. And then like every, like 1 or 2 arias per night. A lot of Puccini. A lot of O mio papino caro, for instance. And what was really great about singing for people who weren't in the music department was they didn't care if, you know, you didn't hit that note perfectly accurately and all of that. They just appreciated that I was singing. I remember there was a second opera singer who came on, Cher. She and I did flower duet like all the time, and people were just blown away. And there were some nights where we didn't really have the best night, but the thing is they didn't care. It brought them back to a time or to a place where they just felt a lot of nostalgia, you know? And they were just really excited that somebody was singing a song that they knew. You know, everybody knows. You know, so they were just excited to hear it. And so because it was a job and I just had to show up and sing, the stage fright was completely eliminated because it just became so like routine, is what I'm saying. So practice is huge, and that was my way of practicing, which leads me to my third reason why people have stage fright. Why do you get stage fright? Let's say you practice a lot by yourself, you practice and you have a good mindset. It's what you're telling yourself. You practice positive affirmations, which is really big, okay? It's really big to the stage fright. Stage fright is eliminated with telling yourself really good things and tell yourself you got it. Fear of being judged, absolutely, right? Now, the fear of being judged is, you got to out-practice the fear of being judged. But the third thing is you have to, hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. So much. Okay. The third reason why people have stage fright is because you have not performed in a professional setting enough. So, what does that look like? Biddy, thank you so much for the heart hands. Appreciate you. Okay. So, when you're in school, let's say you're in the practice room all the time, you're doing your juries, you know, all that stuff. So you're always in it, right, with your people. But then you graduate and you're like, okay, so you have that time between, I just got my degree. Am I going to continue on with my education? Am I going to go into a continuing education conservatory, or, you know, am I going to go overseas? Am I going to do opera fest and all that stuff? Thank you for the bouquet. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thank you. what tree? Oh, Tree Talker. I like that. Nice name. Thank you. Appreciate you. So what happens is in that in between, you need to be putting together something. Whether, like I said, I sang at Macaroni Grill, and no, it's not a professional setting, but it gave me a lot of practice in front of people. People that weren't in school, you know, people that didn't know anything about anything. They just wanted me to sing, right? But you have to put together, there we go. You have to put together something for yourself. You need to pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, I want to sing for you because you need professional experience. Let me tell you what I did. I created my own gigs. When I graduated, I went into real estate initially, but I still wanted to do singing. Excuse me, my back is, ooh. I still wanted to sing. I still wanted to keep myself fresh. And so what I started doing is, just like I cold called on leads, I started calling for galas. I called for all kinds of things, people, and I still do it to this day. Events where it may not necessarily be a paid gig. Sometimes it is, and that's great when it is. You have to sing in front of people as much as possible. Practice is one thing. To sing in front of people is an entirely different thing. You have to expose yourself to different elements. Like, for instance, this Saturday, I'm singing outside and I'm not happy about it because it's like 20 something degrees. And I was calling my partner about it. I was like, Julio, so this is outside. You know how cold it is? And he's like, oh, no, don't worry. We have heaters. And I'm like, but my voice, you know, the voice has to be exposed to a lot and you have to take care of that voice. And my dress is strapless. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to have a big old fur coat on. So it is what it is. But you have to expose yourself to different situations. Maybe the audio setup is not yours. I have a real hard time, or I used to have a real hard time, if I'm not the one controlling, for instance, the sound and the audio, it bothers me because I'm like, what if the speakers don't work? I cannot tell you guys how many settings I have been in that are not ideal for the voice. So you have to expose yourself to a lot of different situations. Sometimes I'm in a setting where, like I said, I'm not in control of the sound, so I have to accommodate and I have to be okay with that. I may not necessarily, okay, so there was like one where I was outside and you have to use a microphone. Didn't really want to use a microphone, but I had to use a microphone because I'm outside. The setting, it was so dry on the mic, and the people that were handling the sound, the audio, the AV people, I don't know what the deal was, but they had no idea how to add reverb for that effect. Like I said, I'm outside. It's not just for the amplification, it's for that effect, that classical effect, which is why you want to add reverb to it. And there was none, and I had to accommodate for that, which means I had to push more. So I had to make sure I was pushing from here and not from here. These are real life situations that you have to put yourself in. And that is how you overcome stage fright. You have to outwork the stage fright. You genuinely, it really is like that. I know a lot of people that say like, you know, but that's my whole problem. Like, but I'm scared to do it. And it's like, I understand. And the only way you have to completely eliminate the time between you being scared and then you not being scared. And the only way to do that is you got to fill it with the action. And like I said, you have to shut that part off. Now, if you're very, very well practiced, that's easier. You have to be very practiced. So when you get on stage, you can't just get on stage and not know what you're doing. You have to have it super solid. You have to understand your rep. I can tell you the only thing that makes me have stage fright now is when I don't know the piece enough. So if I'm up there and I'm trying to sing a piece that I know damn well I didn't practice enough, and you know when you haven't practiced enough. You might be able to fool someone else, but you know for yourself, like, I know I should have practiced this more. And you might be going into a situation where you're not, word, but that is a stop sign in life. I think I missed something. Isn't that considered the diaphragm? Isn't what considered the diaphragm? Right here, when I said from here? Yes, so I'm showing you visually. You want to sing from here, not from here. Yes, diaphragm, not the throat. Obviously, you're focusing your vocal cords into place, and you're making sure you have open space in the back, you know, your soft palate, and that your larynx is naturally mid or low, but you are not forcing everything to happen from here was my whole point. So, but you know when you're not practiced enough. If you're very well practiced, then you want to take that into a live situation. So even doing live streams like this helps the practice because you're getting real-time feedback too from people who don't know you, and they'll say whatever they want sometimes. You know, my lovely people, I love you guys so much. You're very sweet to me and you're very kind, but you get those people, even when I first started, they come in, they're just scrolling, they say something and they keep it moving. Also, calling yourself Queen of Opera, you got a lot of people that, using the word in life stops us. Yes, exactly. Saying, well, I know that I should do this, but I'm scared to. Yes, 100%. I completely, 1,000,000% agree. Like saying those things and telling yourself, I know I should do this, but I know that it takes practice, but yes, absolutely, 100%. I agree. So you have to get out of those excuses, and that's why the mindset, the practice, and performances all play in. I mean, typically it's not just one thing. You might have had a traumatizing experience too. Like, I'm not saying that those things don't happen. I had a traumatizing experience when I'm not going to tell you this experience because it's deeply personal, but I had an experience where I was singing, and basically I was humiliated while I was singing, and I was 10. I think I was either 10 or 11. And I wasn't singing classical. I was belting. I thought I was just the cutest little belter. And I can tell you from that point on, I could never belt again. So when people will say, oh, do you do pop or do you do R&B? To be honest with you, I actually might have, had it not been for that experience. It completely destroyed my confidence in singing R&B, pop. And that's actually, I felt so sad because I'm going to tell you, my whole life, I just thought I was going to be a singer. I had no idea it was going to be classical. I just knew I was going to be a singer. I showed up for career day, the future career day in first grade with a fur coat on and sunglasses and a microphone because I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I knew what my goal was in life. But I had that experience and I thought I sounded so good, and basically I got knocked down, and I froze every time. It was like a physical thing that happened, you know, so it was a physiological reaction to singing, and I was terrified. I could never have a strong voice belting again where it came from the heart. And so when I discovered opera from an opera singer when I was 15, I felt like I had a completely renewed spirit. Like something about opera once you learn it, something about the way I could let the notes out, and because it was such a rigid discipline, it's not from the heart initially. It's rigid discipline, and then it comes from the heart. You know what I mean? Something about singing like that, like I said, maybe it was just the fact that it was I had to shut my brain off when I did it. It wasn't like singing gospel, singing R&B, singing pop to me. Like, you either have it or you don't when you belt. But opera, I feel like anyone can learn it. I'm not saying everyone's going to sound beautiful doing it, but anyone can learn the technique. Anyone can. And because it's very like by the book, there's really no deviation. Like, and if you hear, yeah, it feels liberating. It is incredibly liberating. So I was so glad that I found classical and opera because of that. So somebody said, yeah, it was a total 180, exactly. Do I have to learn that language? That language, Italian, definitely. You're gonna wanna learn Italian for sure. I was so nervous that I had hives from singing a solo in cantata. Yeah, and that is so unfortunate because I understand exactly what you mean. Like, it can really make your vocal cords freeze up. I was so nervous one time when I was singing. I was at a Nats competition, and when it was my turn, I knew I wasn't ready. And I did a blog on this, guys. You should check it out on queenofopera.com. And I break it down about the 3 reasons why you have stage fright. The second reason being not enough practice. What happened was I was not prepared to sing, hark, 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 whenever triumph sings. I love doing melismas and all that stuff, but something about the melismas at that time, hark, whenever triumph sings. If you're trying to like work on your agility, do melismas, and I haven't done them in a while. But anyway, it was my first semester. I was in the Nats competition and I sang that, and there's so many melismas, like it just keeps going over. A triumph sings, a triumph sings, a triumph sings. It was on the second round because it's like first verse and you have a little bit and all around, and the second go around. Basically what happens with some of the Baroque music is you have like verse 1 and then like a little deviation, and then verse 2, which is basically verse 1, but you can change things around, like a little bit of ornamentation, and all around, and all around, all that stuff. Anyway, by the time I got to the second verse, it was like I hadn't practiced enough. What I did is I practiced the first verse a lot, and I didn't practice the second one enough where I started thinking about my ornamentation. And because I started thinking about it, because I hadn't put enough practice into it, I completely froze and I forgot everything. Everything was gone. And I mean, everything. And I went, oh my gosh. And the pianist, my accompanist, she just kept playing like throughout the whole thing. And it felt like I was standing there forever. So I was devastated. And my mom was like, I went home. I was like, well, I lost that competition. There's no need to stay. And she's like, you need to go back up to the school. You need to go in the practice room because you don't know who won the competition yet. So you need to go. And I didn't listen. I showed up at the very end, but I did not go back and go in the practice room. I was like, it's over. Like, I just kind of threw my hands up. That was a mistake because I ended up winning first place. And I think it was because I did so well on the first song, because you do like 2 songs. They chose the second one. I don't know what I did first. I think I did Lasciatemi morire, but I liked that one. It was a lot shorter and I practiced it more, so I ended up winning first place. But I was so nervous that I started doing this vocal flip thing, and it was really bad. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a physiological thing. It will affect you physically. And this is why listen, after that, I was like, no, I can never just assume I know a song. If I know I don't know it enough, I'm not going to put it on my rep list, so I need to like integrate it with something else or go practice it more. So yeah, mindset, what other people are telling you, what you're telling yourself. People like Belinda, like you said, fear of being judged. It's huge, especially in classical music. It is a big thing because you're not just afraid everybody's going to judge you. They are judging you. Like, you're getting judged every which way. That's enough to create stage fright. But if you transmute that energy and take it as a lesson learned and say, okay, I am going to take this and I'm going to practice. I'm not going to let this happen again. Then you can overcome it. You have to practice, 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 practice. And you have to get into real life settings. You have to be in professional settings where, whether it's you're creating your own gigs, you have your own concerts going, you're joining in on other people's things, you have to get out there in the real world and sing. You need to get on stages, join your local opera company. And you know, this is why I don't say typically join your local opera company for something like this. If you are going in, well, as a studio performer, yes, because then you're definitely going to get a lot of stage experience, right? But if you're joining and you're just joining their choir, it's not the same. It's just not. You can kind of hide behind everyone else singing with you. Like, it's a different experience. You still you have to have the stage experience, of course. But if you have stage fright specifically, you need to practice in a setting where if the stage fright is if the stage fright is happening when you're doing solo performances, you need to then go out practice that and outperform that stage fright. If the stage fright is happening regardless, because typically, I mean, this isn't everyone, but typically I find that the stage fright comes when you have to be there and the spotlight is on you and no one else. That's where I've seen it happen the most. I haven't really heard a lot of people, it happens, but a lot of people have stage fright when they're singing like a choir. It's easy, you're with everyone else, right? But, hold on, I just wanted to make sure I didn't. Okay, there we go. So I saw some activity going on over there, and you guys know how I am. I get easily distracted. But if you are having stage fright as a soloist, then getting in and doing stuff on stage, it's not to say it wouldn't be helpful if you're doing like joining an opera choir, but it's not the same situation. So you want to put yourself, it's kind of like the way that my husband taught our kids how to swim. He did not say, come on, you can do it. He threw them in the pool and they had to swim back. And he never made it a big deal. He didn't say, oh my gosh, guys, we're gonna learn how to swim now and you can do it. He never made it a big deal. And he was my amazing stay-at-home dad, and I was out doing real estate, so I wasn't there to tell. I mean, by the time I realized they were swimming, I was just like, holy crap. Like, I was so excited. I'm like, this is great. But he was the one who put the work in with them. And he was just like, he basically told me, hey, when you see them swimming, don't make it a big deal. Just be like, that's awesome. Because then they thought, oh, it's not a big deal. But he would throw them in the water and then they'd have to swim back. That is how they learned. He didn't do this whole big thing about it and be like, oh my gosh, like, you're two, the fact that you're swimming right now is amazing. No, he just was like, this is just what you do. So then they thought this is just what they did. So much so that the quick story time, that all the dads at the pool was really funny. They started throwing their kids in the pool, same exact way. So you had all these dads that were like, oh, that's how you teach them. And so they were doing the same thing. And then one time, I was actually there for this one, this little girl was swimming and she was so proud of herself, but the mom came and she was like, oh my gosh, and she started panicking. And because she started panicking, the little girl started panicking. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta keep putting yourself in situations where it becomes like not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. I did over 20 performances last year in solo or gala type settings where I was the solo performer. And every performance was not the same. It wasn't in the same venue. It wasn't with the same, AV. Sometimes it's a super professional one. Sometimes it's our productions doing it. It was always different. Sometimes people, like there was a woman, I remember when I was singing a lot, when I first started Queen of Opera in Hawaii, there was a woman, I was singing at Volcano House. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to Volcano in Hawaii, where the volcano just exploded and had all these rocks falling. I don't know if y'all heard of that. I did, of course, because my family's there. But anyway, it's right where the lava is. It's really cool. So it's a huge touristy restaurant is what I'm saying. Big foyer, beautiful acoustics like here. And this woman, like I said, most people are on vacation while they're there. She was on the phone and she's like saying really rude things about me while I was standing there getting ready. And anyway, it could have been enough to throw me off because I was about to sing, but I had done it so much that I was like, okay, well, you have those situations. Then there was another person who, while I was singing, she kept walking in front of me. So you have these situations where you kind of have to roll with the punches, is what I'm saying. Like, I just had somebody in here, I was barely paying attention. I saw Belinda, you had to block someone because people say the stupidest things sometimes, really random. You have to be okay with that. People are going to say things that you're not going to particularly like, or it's going to be hurtful or cruel, and you really have to be okay with that as a performer and practice it out of you. Practice in different settings, in different environments. So I've seen a lot of people with social anxiety take improv class. Really? Yeah. I've had to take quite a few of those in my day too. In theater, I took one in college, and then I took a few when I was a kid because I was in a bunch of theater classes. I personally cannot stand improv. I can't stand it, but I can totally see where taking improv would help you with your stage fright because it's an on-the-spot thing. So essentially, it's the same kind of concept though, because you're doing things on the fly, for sure. I can't stand them. I used to have to do them, and anytime I had to enroll in an improv class, I was like, because I was in a company called Hurrah Players when I was in Virginia Beach growing up. And so that was a required class. You had to take like a certain amount for serious little artists. I was like 11 or 12. And you always had to have at least one improv. And I just, like, to this day, I'm like, gosh, I can't stand these. I really don't. But it's a good thing to do. I mean, everybody has their own kind of improv, I guess. My improv was get in front of people on stage and, like, see what happens. Like, I put myself in the sink or swim sort of situation. Another thing and this is not one of the 3 reasons, but I think this is something that I just think as a singer, we should really remember. It's not that deep. Now, your technique is your understanding how to, your vocal placement, your intonation, like all the technique things. Yes, it's your craft, so you should take it seriously for sure. But at the end of the day, you're here to entertain. I was listening to Denzel Washington. My husband sent me this reel the other day, and he was saying how as an actor, people take themselves so seriously. And sometimes, and they're just saying like, this is the hardest job and all this stuff. And he's like, listen, you're an actor. You get to act for a living. He's like, am I saying that, you don't take on tough roles sometimes? No. And he said, but like, there are people out there that are going to war. They have their sons and daughters going to war. They're firefighters. These people are putting their lives on the line every single day. What you do is not that. It's not a life or death situation. And that's such a good reminder. Like, I have the privilege, the blessing to sing for a living. So I'm not going to take it that seriously. I used to take this very seriously. And I think that a lot of voice students could learn from this lesson. I mean, one of the biggest things the best lessons you can learn as early as possible is don't take it that seriously. It is not that deep. You get to sing and you get to share your voice with the world. So have fun doing it. Maria Callas had a quote. This is how seriously I used to take it. She said that performances or performance night is a lot like a marriage. When you go into it, you have to treat it as such. And I used to do, but I also used to get into arguments with my team as a result. And when my team at the time was just my husband, that wasn't fun because I was taking myself so seriously. Like, did you bring the microphone? Do you have the speakers? Oh, I have to calm down. It really was like that the first year. And he told me the very first year, now we've been doing Queen of Opera for 7 years, but the first year he's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna need you to just chill out because you get to sing and people are showing up because they just want to enjoy your voice. They're not judging you. You're not in school anymore. And I love that he said that to me because he was there with me the whole time. He saw how serious it was when I was in school. Everyone took themselves seriously and they expect you to take yourself too seriously. It's not that deep. Yeah, Belinda, it's not that deep. It's not. You get to sing for a living, or you have a passion. You didn't just have that passion for no reason. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But you don't have that passion for no reason. You have it because, you have that desire in you. Ride with that desire. Sometimes what shows up as nerves is just truly it's excitement for what you get to do. So the more comfortable you are, the more well-practiced you are, the more confidence you have. Practice creates confidence. A positive mindset and practicing a positive mindset creates confidence. Like, it's as simple as that. And if you are feeling like, you know, you get, I especially feel like this for the things that happen, like physiological reactions, like breaking out in hives, or like, for instance, with me, like I said, I had like vocal flips that were happening where it would be like, I would hit a high note and it would go, it was crazy. And it was because I had so much strain right here. Instead of, like this song, for instance, I was not breathing deeply, right? And this is times I've gotten so nervous where that's happened. And it actually has only happened once where it was from nerves. Other times because I just wasn't singing properly. I wasn't singing low enough. I wasn't breathing low enough. Everything was happening here. But if you're too nervous, then you're gonna have all this strain in your throat and you're not gonna let go when you have to. There are a lot of singers I have talked to over the years that I met through Instagram, especially during COVID, where they were saying, how do you get, like, I could tell they were straining on their high notes a lot. That you just found me. Hey, well, welcome in and give me a follow. Thank you for being here. Be sure to hit the heart me up there, and I'm glad that you're here. So don't worry, I'm here every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I won't be here. I might be singing or doing a masterclass on Tuesday, to be determined. Belinda, I'll talk to you about it, but if I do, you guys can register for it. I always try to plan these now because they're so consistent. So I met many singers during COVID and people that I did like collaborations with where I noticed like their high notes were super strained. And they would even tell me like, or ask me, how do you get to those higher notes where they felt like they couldn't get there? I'm trying to think of a song that happens with a lot. It's Diez Harasho. Everybody wanted to do Diez Harasho Rachmaninoff when I did it, right? Like I released it in February of 2020 on, wherever you listen to music, wherever you stream music, check it out. But it goes like this. And I noticed there were so many singers that tried to do it after I did it. It was not a very popular song. The only person I ever heard do it was Aida Garifulina at the time, and she did it so well, but she made it sound so easy. So when I did it, I realized you have to approach it where you release. You don't go for the high note like da da da. It's got to be like all of your work is happening right here, and then you're letting all those high notes go. But so many of those singers at the time, there were like 3 girls that are girlfriends of mine now, that they tried it and it sounded so strained. And I think it's because, especially we as sopranos, try to approach our high notes, and this has to do with stage fright. I think we as sopranos try to approach those high notes and mentally anticipate it too much. They're like, and it's like, it just would close off. And it's not a very high note, but it's like, just try it. If you're a soprano and you've never tried to sing Diez Harasho, try it. You'll see what I mean. But you have to approach it in a way that is very free. And then the ending note, little flat, but whatever. So that note, it's gotta be free. You gotta relax your jaw as much as possible. It's easy to tense up. So all of those things, if if you're tensing, it will start to, you'll hear it, you'll feel it, you know, and it just cuts off all your airflow too, because in your it's larynx. For those of you who aren't familiar, I try to stay away from all the technical terms for that way anybody can hear this. Thank you for joining the fan club. But it means your larynx is high, and typically that happens if you're like really mentally, you're like, oh, here we go, I'm anticipating it, you know? So you have to be more relaxed about it. And what I always try to tell people to do as singers is like, just when you know you're going high, like think low instead, like you're walking down the stairs, not up the stairs. If you're thinking up, they're just gonna be like, ah. So, oh, something is trying to connect. Don't connect. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that Anyway, so that's why stage fright tends to happen. I have personally never met anyone that it didn't happen because of one of those three things. And, well, except for the fourth, which I said, don't take yourself so seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. Obviously you're going to feel, I think a little bit of nerves before any performance is healthy. You know, like you're excited, it's like, ooh, I hope I do well. If I ever approach, like, especially the high notes, like when I did the national anthem at the Magic game this weekend, because the camera was right in my face, and then he was doing like, he was walking around me too, and everyone's so close in. So I just said, on that high note, I was like, God, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving this high note to you. And that helps too, and I think it's also psychological because it's me surrendering to it. You know, I'm like, oh, the land of the free. And I think a lot of times people want to go, and it's like, it's so tight, it's so strange. You want to just kind of let it go. And when you have high notes too, and even though you're supposed to be doing an E, let your jaw go, you know. You just have to kind of, you know, do it like that. Oh, you were there. Thank you. I'm glad that you, or at least maybe you listened to the video. Thank you. And it was so much fun. So much fun. It was great to do. Yeah. But strain comes from stress. Don't stress your body out so much. You got to just relax. I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this now for over 20 years. And the thing that I notice is the people that take themselves too seriously, that take the whole thing too seriously, are the ones that end up having the most stage fright. You know, if you're not putting enough practice in, I've had students that I've told them, you have to practice before this performance. I had a concert that I did in Hawaii, and I brought one of my students in to sing Ave Maria, and she, bless her heart, she had a problem with pitch, where when she got to a certain pitch, she just lost all, like, it just went out the window. She was a mezzo. She refused to believe she was a mezzo. She wanted to be a soprano, and I was not as tough on her as I should have been, so I just let her do her thing. I should not have done that, lesson learned, but I kept telling her her pitch was so good, her intonation and everything, like her pitch perception was really good in the mid notes. But as soon as she tried to go any higher, she lost it. It was like she just didn't hear it. So I kept telling her, you must practice this. Like, it wasn't natural for her for some reason in her body, and she wasn't classically trained. You know, she was 15 when she started coming to me. So I said, you have to practice this song over and over and over, and she didn't listen. So she bombed the performance. And I knew that that was a possibility, but I said the only way to get her to get it is if I put her, you know, throw her in, like you throw kids in the pool when you try to teach them how to swim. I don't know much about opera. It's calming to listen to your stories and the singing you do. Casey Light, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Welcome in. So, yeah, you have to put the time and energy and effort into it. But then once you do, then you can relax. Then you can let go. So once you've practiced and you have the repertoire down and you know you've given it your all in the practice room and with your accompanist or with your backing track, however you do it, however it turns out, as long as you're putting it in. Liam Porter, what's going on? Good to see you. I didn't notice you earlier. Thank you for always saying such lovely comments on my shorts. I appreciate it. Guys, if you don't know, I am also on YT, and YT I'm also on TT. So you guys can check it out on both, because I'm doing my best to always go live on both platforms from now on. And I post a lot on both as well, so check those out. Try to put as much long form content on YouTube, but also my music. Wherever you listen to music, you can hear me. So we have been live for 2 hours now. So yeah, guys, that's what it all boils down to. You have to have a good mindset. I know that for classical singers, it can be difficult to keep a positive mindset when you're in school. So that's why you want to read things. It's a different culture now than it was when I was in school. We didn't have YouTube and all these resources telling us how we can have a positive mindset, meditation practices, affirmations, Think and Grow Rich, all of those things. It's a lot more commonplace now. I'd say take advantage of it. Know that if you're in school studying, or if you're going to go into school and study, it is a ruthless, cutthroat, generally speaking, that's just the industry in general. It is a cutthroat community. You have to do it for you. Put your head, if you want to go the traditional way and not the way of the Queen of Opera, I'll tell you exactly what you do right now. Let me tell you in a nutshell. Because somebody was saying this last week, and because we were talking about this. Nope, just tough love. If you want to be classically trained, or you're thinking about getting your vocal performance degree, the best advice I can give you is, and you're not trying to do the rebellious thing like me, like I was a freedom fighter in a past life, I'm telling you, because I was always fighting the system. If you're not trying to create your own company and get your own gigs completely and create your own production company like Queen of Opera, and you want to be on the stages all over the world as a traditional opera singer, fantastic. Put your head down, shut your mouth, ignore everything, tune out the noise, do not become anyone's friend. I'm serious. If you're serious about this, and there's like 10% of people who are like so serious about it, they don't care about anything else and anyone else, you don't go for friends. You're not there to make friends. You are not there. They will not care about you when you're going after auditions. And some of those people, you might be up against them for auditions, and to have those same roles in different places. And yes, there are a bunch of opera houses in the world. Yes. But ignore everyone. Keep your head down. Shut your mouth. Don't talk to them. It is not about them. It's not about camaraderie, at least when you're singing, okay? You can be friendly, but I would personally say, if I could go back and I wanted to go the traditional route, which if I could go back, I still wouldn't go the traditional route. I love having complete control over every production by creating them myself, and control over what I choose to take on. I just love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I'm so glad I did it this way. If anything, I think I would have regretted trying to do it the traditional route, but that's just my personality. Like, and that's why when I first graduated, I didn't go out and then like, I did a few auditions just to keep it going. Like I did the Metropolitan National Council auditions, just to do it, just to kind of, I was still trying to decide if this was the route I was going to take. And then by the time I became a real estate broker, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm going to do it myself. Ma'am, you are so beautiful and have a perfect voice. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's the advice I could give you. Keep your head down. Don't talk to anybody. Study your repertoire better than anyone. I'm telling you, my daughter is 15 and she studies and she practices like nobody's business. She practices for fun. And I'm not talking about just voice. As a matter of fact, she could stand to practice more, Eva, voice. She practices her violin like nobody's business. And because of that, she is concert master. Every time there's a pass off, she's first chair. I was first chair all the time, and I didn't practice like she does. You have to put that kind of work in. Put the work in so that way you can relax when it comes to performance time, and you don't have to be so rigid. You know, then you can take it easy once you know you put that work in. So anyway, you look very stylish, Madame Butterfly Opera. Oh, thank you so much. to you? Oh, that was Sarah. I know her voice anywhere. When you're not performing or practicing, what do you do to preserve your voice? Well, whether I was practicing or performing, some daily practices, hot water and lemon, especially when it's cold. I'm actually upset right now because I'm freezing. My fingertips are freezing. My toes are freezing. And I don't have hot water. Il dolce suono mi colpi dei voce. So, are you mean to just protect your voice, like daily habits? If it's cold outside, always wear a scarf. Don't be caught outside without a scarf. That's one thing I'm so glad my vocal coach at school taught me at UCF, like always protect your throat. Hot water and lemon is your friend. Don't do hot water and apple cider vinegar. I made that mistake once and I'll never do it again. You want to, don't put honey in your tea before you sing. Don't do caffeinated teas. Those things don't help when you're singing. Don't drink dairy and then try to sing. Oh, somebody's birthday. Was this somebody's birthday? Happy birthday from... I'll sing it the way I did at Macaroni Girl. Tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri, caro mio. Or if you're a girl, caro mio, tanti auguri a te. There you go. Happy early birthday. Hope you have a great one. My wedding anniversary is on January 31st, this Saturday, and I'm very excited, and I'm singing for my anniversary. Singing for my supper. I am singing at, oh yeah, if you guys are in Central Florida and you want to get tickets, it is Casino Night benefiting the Art and Hope Foundation. I'm so excited to team up with them once again. I think it's like our 5th collaboration. It's going to be in Windermere at a beautiful home that's listed for sale. It's huge. It's like, it's a $5 million home. I want to say it's like 8 bedrooms, 6 bath. It's so, I'm so looking forward to the acoustics. Although we're doing the performance outside, so I might not be able to see what the acoustics are like, unfortunately. Violin question. Does each violin require a specific bow? So it's, I mean, traditional bow is like, all bows have horsehair. You have to use a different bow and different rosin for like a double bass, a cello, but then like violas and violins, they use the same like kind of rosin, and bows are maybe bigger for a viola, I'm not sure, but you just, horsehair bow. Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's more important the quality of your violin than it is the bow. I had a beautiful bow and someone replaced it and stole my bow when I was in high school. I was so upset because it had mother of pearl in the bow. It was in the thingamajiggy. My daughter would be so annoyed at me for not knowing what it's called, but at the bottom where the finger positioning when you have it right here, it had mother of pearl. It was so pretty. So yeah, but yeah, so Saturday casino night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and if you guys are anywhere in the area, it would be great for you to come out. Yeah, this year, and it's probably one of the only live performances I'm doing. I am very heavily focused on recording music this year, and so there's a lot of singles that'll be coming out. Amore, February 14th, Valentine's Day. But we're in the talks of doing a few June onward. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm not thrilled about singing outside. I'm not going to lie, Julio. Just saying, but I'm excited to do it just the same. It's going to be a lot of fun. I get to wear the beautiful dress I wore for Valentine's Day last year. I'm going to wear this one. I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm excited for the singles too. As stuff is released, you guys typically hear it first, on TT and YT. So you guys keep checking it out. And yeah, that concludes the live stream. Thank you guys for being here today. I will leave you with a song. I'm going to do Wicked Game because I haven't done it in so long. Yeah, And if you go to my website and put your email in, you always get notifications when I do a new performance too. So check that out. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there will be more, excuse me. It is so cold in here. There will be more performances later on in the year. So stay tuned for it. Wicked Game. Non faccio altro che pensare fisso a te. Mai mi aspettavo di amare un uomo così. Mai mi aspettavo di avere paura così. Non che gioco così crudele per farmi sentire per te. Che cosa malvagia da fare per farmi sognare di te. Che cosa cattiva da dire, non ti sei mai sentita così. Che cosa malvagia da fare per farmi sognare di te. Non Wicked Game, Chris Isaac, my opera cover. This song will be out this year. God willing, it will be out. So we'll see. It was supposed to be out last year, but this year is all about those releases, which again, by the way, everybody, all of your GIFTS is how I was told to say it now. All of what you give in this live and this live and that and this and the other, all of them go toward me releasing music. So all of the releases that you see, everything that's out right now is made possible with all of your contributions and also with my patrons. I never plug Patreon because I'm always afraid of what's going to happen on my thing. But I do have lots of ways that you can support. So check it out, queenofopera.com, and also on my link tree, which is in my profile. But check it out, because anything that you give goes straight toward releasing more music over and over. You know, it's just like the gift that keeps on giving. And I appreciate you guys for doing that. Thank you for all the love and all the hearts. Thank you. Music is magic. What's going on? It's good to see you in one of my lives, because you know how much I enjoy watching your live streams. So thank you. Thank you for the roses, Blackbird. Appreciate you. Yeah, so really anything that you guys contribute goes toward that. I really appreciate it. And if you can see me in person, see a live performance, and you can make it out this Saturday and you're in Central Florida and you want to find something fun to do, check it out. You can celebrate with me because it's my anniversary. Me and my husband have officially been married now for 17 years. I can't even believe I'm old enough to say I've been married for 17 years, but I am. So yeah, and so come celebrate with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got merch on my website, queenofopera.com, and all that jazz too, so you guys can check it out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get flagged for, promoting some. That's my cue. Thank you guys for being here. If you have any questions, comments, you want to see a specific thing on the next live stream, which again, it will not be next Wednesday. I might switch it to Tuesday unless I nix it completely. You guys will see. I always put my live streams on my profile, so you guys can register to know for sure I'll be going live, so you can check it out. So thank you guys for being here. Belinda, thank you so much for moderating in both on YT and TT. I appreciate you always, and I will definitely be looking at your song, guys. If you don't follow Belinda, my mod here, my moderator, Lady Belinda, check her out, follow her, because she has some beautiful music that she just started making, and she goes live as well. And I will be so excited to actually take a little bit more time and look at the song or listen to the song and actually get it on some demo vocals soon once my surgery is done next week. So then I can actually bring it into the recording studio and see what I can do. It's just playing around, it's nothing serious, but I think it's beautiful. So I would love to see what I can do in an operatic way with it. So, all right, guys, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.